Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Habs Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 116. And yes, this is the first video of the year, number 3. By the way, we invite you, don't forget to join us tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. We're launching year number 3, so join us. We're going to have an amazing, great night all together. But today on the Habs Daily News, so what do you have on the menu, Coach, today? First of all, I want to talk about the goaltender situation for the Montreal Canadiens, the post-carry price, where they can find a goalie in NHL right now, maybe for the future. Secondly, I want to talk about SLAFKOVSKY. Some of them talking maybe it's better for him to play in AHL. Finally, we're going to talk about the NHL news today. It's all about the RFA. Who are they right now or did not sign a contract yet with their team? So don't go nowhere. But before we start, you know the drill. Please click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, sharing this video, and finally, please leave me a comments about the episode number 116. And let's talking about the first subject of the day. So the first subject of the day, guys, is about the goalie for the Montreal Canadiens. Look like Carey Price will never returning with the Montreal. And honestly, I believe Jake Allen and Montembeault could maybe not the right answer in the future. So what I did the last 24 hours and look around the NHL, which team have maybe some goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. And I found one team. We know yesterday I talked about Frédéric Dichaud, maybe the number one prospect as a goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens for the future. We know what Primo does for Montreal, but maybe Dichaud could pass him at some point. So what I did, guys, we talked about possibly Montreal make a trade at some point to get a better goaltender in their organization. And I find out, guys, the Buffalo Sabres have 3 goaltenders under 25 years old, perform very well so far. And I want to talk about them today. And the first one is a kid born in Montreal, Devon Levy. We know we recognize him as the goaltender for the Team Canada in 2020, where he performed very well with a 6-1-0. As a record for Team Canada. They lost in the final again at Team USA, again Spencer Knight. But first of all, Levi was drafted by the Florida Panthers 7th round, 212 overall pick in 2020. Look, the only thing I would say to you about Devon is maybe his size is only 6 foot at 185 pounds. It could become a major problem a little bit later in NHL. But we have to recognize the 20 years old doing well with the Northeastern University. Last year, guys, had a great year with a save percentage over .95 and 2. And a goal again average of 1.54, 21, 10, and 1 with the Northeastern. Play with Jordan Harris, by the way, with the son of Ken Hughes, Jack Hughes. So it'll be interesting what Devon's going to do for upcoming year. Return with the Northeastern University for his second year as a goaltender number 1 for this organization. The second goaltender I want to talk about, guys, is the Finland Ukko-Pekka Liukanen. Obviously for him, the only problem he got for the last 2 years is all about the injuries. He have an opportunity this year to become a regular goalie for the Sabres, but obviously another injury stopped him as a goalie for the rest of the year. First of all, born in Finland in Espoo, he was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres, 54 overall pick, 2nd round, and 2017 is a big 6'4", 196 pound. He's 23 years old, still and under contract until next season. Will be interesting what he's going to do this year. We know the Buffalo Sabres signed Eric Comrie during the summer, and they already have the veteran Greg Anderson. I'm not sure if Luciano could join the team as a backup number 2. If not, honestly, he's going to return with the Rochester American in the American Hockey League. Last season over there, he have 35 games. He have a save percentage of .900, goal against average of 3.28. He played 9 games in the NHL. The save percentage, guys, really respectful at .917 with the Buffalo Sabres. We know the defensive was not very good. And then you have a goal against average of 2.74. So this is another goaltender Montreal Canadiens could look and the future possible make a trade for him. And finally, the third goaltender, guys, is a goalie what nobody talk about. I find him and the prospect for them is Erik Portillo. He's a Sweden player, born in Coldborg in Sweden. He is a 6'6", 225 pounds. He was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres 2019, third round, a 67 overall pick. Look, he played so great the last couple of years around. He played for the big machine, power machine at the University of Michigan. The last 2 years, first of all, 2021, he have 7 games over there, 1.67 with a save percentage of 9.3 and 5, 4.10 as a backup number 2. Then finally, last year, he was the goaltender number 1 for this organization. He has a great season, 42 game, guys, at 2.14 goal against average and a save percentage of 9, 2, and 6, a record of 31, 10, and 1. Is a goaltender you have to watch. If I was a Montreal Canadien, I think he has a lot of potential to become a regular goalie in NHL. If I was a Montreal, it's someone really for the three player we just talked about, Devon, Luukkonen, and Portillo. I believe this one is maybe the best of the three. Would be interesting if Montreal Canadiens could make a kind of trade with the Buffalo Sabres. Not necessary to be right now or the next couple of months, but maybe thinking about another option, a trade to get a future goaltender in NHL. Then I look everywhere, each team, the goaltender and the future. We know about Minnesota with Wellstad. We know with Detroit with Kosa. And they are the goaltender. They're not going to be traded at some point because they are going to become the number 1 goaltender for their organization, honestly. Possible the same thing with Nashville, with Yarosov. I don't see him to go nowhere whatsoever. He's behind Zaros. So for me, they have 2 teams could maybe make a trade. Maybe not this year, maybe in the future. I'm talking about the Calgary Flame and the New York Rangers. The Flame guys have a Dawson Wolf. It's another only 6 foot, but Wolf, everywhere he been play hockey, he's a winner. He's an amazing, great year last season with American Hockey League. I'm sure Montreal Canadiens talk about him during the trade with Tyler Toffoli. But again, the Calgary Flame does not want to trade him. They expect him to become the goaltender number 2-4 behind Max Strom for the season 2023-2024. Vladar is going to be a UFA. Now, the other team, the New York Rangers. Why them? Because Chesterkin is going to be number 1 forever. Like, he's only 25 years old. He's going to be the number 1 goaltender between the pipe for the Rangers. The another one could be traded at some point is Garland. Garland was the goaltender for the Team Canada gold medal a couple of weeks ago. He's another small goaltender, but I don't see him to stay behind Chesterkin forever. Possible the Rangers could to keep him for a couple of years, but it's another goaltender. Possible Montreal should look about him at some point. And again, guys, this is just sharing other option. I don't say they have to, and I'm not saying they need to do it right now, but maybe thinking about other option, like I mentioned yesterday, by trade, by UFA. That's something Montreal should look in the future to get another goaltender, because right now I don't see behind Carey Price anyone to become a regular number 1 goalie. Let's move on now, guys, for the next subject of the day. The next subject, guys, about JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY start in Laval. What, coach? Why do you want him to start in Laval? No, it's not me. It's Julien McKenzie from the Athletic website. He does other things on the social media. He talked about possible he would not be surprised if SLAFKOVSKY start with the Laval Rocket for the upcoming year. Like Ken Hughes said, we don't draft right now the best player at this moment. We draft the best player is going to be in the future. The reason why McKenzie mentioned this is possible that Montreal Canadiens take a time with SLAFKOVSKY and let him start in Laval. But I want to talk about one thing about SLAFKOVSKY, guys. He's always been against the odds. He was not supposed to be there. He was not supposed to be draft number 1 overall. He was not supposed to perform in the Team Olympic. He was not supposed to perform at the World Championship. But every time he find a way to perform. Kenny does the same thing at the main camp to get a spot with the Montreal Canadiens. If ever he's going to be with the Laval Rocket, nothing wrong with this part. Many players, first overall pick, start in American Hockey League. I don't see it as a regression. I don't see it as a bad choice by the Montreal Canadiens. And as a hockey fans of the Montreal Canadiens, I can't wait to see SLAFKOVSKY. We'll be interested in what SLAFKOVSKY is going to do again. And we're going to follow up for sure for you guys. The rookie camp is start September 15 in Buffalo. Let's move on now for the last news of the day. So today, guys, we don't have a lot of signature around the NHL, so I decided to go with the RFA still not signed a contract yet with their own team. And I'm talking about the youngest players. First of all, let's starting with the Dallas Star with Jacob Robinson. Still have no contract with them. My expectations will be not a bridge contract. It's going to be 8 years, around 8.5 to 9.5. I would not be shocking if the Dallas Star offer him this kind of contract. Now, the Toronto Maple Leafs have Rasmus Sandin with no contract yet. The left defenseman tried to find a way to have a contract with them, but is not happy with the TOI or the way they utilize him for last season. He don't see behind Riley Muzzin and Giordano where and how he can play a full time. We'll see. Then the second thing, the Toronto Maple Leafs don't have no money yet, so they have to make a trade at some point to open up their salary cap to sign a Rasmus Sandin. Can he go somewhere? I would say to you, maybe 50%. I believe they're going to try to trade, give away Justin Holl to open up a $2 million for the contract as Sandin. Then we have the Montreal Canadiens with 2 players. Kirby Dach, a very close to sign contract. We expect about $3.5 million, 4-year contract. That's what we heard. Kaden Primo, honestly, this is going to be a 2-way contract. I think they just wait to sign first Kirby Dach. I think Primo is going to sign after that. Finally, the Ottawa Senators, they have Formenton, no contract yet. Formenton have a great year last season. Finally, Arizona have Hayton with no contract for him. Here we go, guys. This is conclude all the RFA still not signed yet around the league. It conclude, of course, all the news we have today for the episode number 116. Hopefully you enjoy it, but before we leave, we want to invite you, don't forget tonight, we have our launching year number 3 for the Hockey Nation Live Show, 9 o'clock Eastern Time p.m. I can't wait to see you, each one of you, to join us. And finally, remember, don't forget to please to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, leave me a comments about episode 116, and of course, you know that you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.